There was a time in my life that I was chasing wealth, that I was chasing success, that I was chasing. And I want to say that there was a period of my life, maybe when I was in my mid 30s, that transformation really started to happen. And at that point, I stopped chasing and I started creating. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you want wealth, if you want fame, if you want success, universally, everybody wants prosperity, everybody wants freedom, everybody wants wealth, everybody wants happiness. This is pretty universal. And what happens is people chase that. And when you chase after it, the likelihood of you getting it is very slim. Most people spend their whole life chasing for what they don't have. And the reason this is ineffective is because they're coming from a position of lack. They're coming from a position of I don't have. And whatever you focus on, you get. That is the truth. Whatever you focus on, you get more of. I Every morning I do focus exercises. I didn't know that was a thing at one point, and I spend my morning doing focus exercises, and I've trained my students. I've trained the people who come to me for coaching, for growth, for self-mastery. I've trained them on how to do focus exercises. But more than just the focus, is the position you're coming from. Now, instead of chasing, need to create. That's right. Instead of chase, create. Create the life you want by creating the person you need to become to live that life. Don't chase the money, become the person that attracts the money. Now, right now, you're like, Steve, that's easy. People say that, and I can't connect the dots, right? How do you connect the dots? Where it's easy to say, don't chase, rather create. Become the person. And you're like, okay, don't chase, step one. But it seems like becoming the person is step 12, right? You skipped 11 of them. And I used to get frustrated because I didn't understand. And I'm like, oh, these people, they're not telling me, they're just saying go from, here to here, but not telling me how. Again, it always seems like it goes back to the how. Now, I'm going to tell you one method that you should not use. Unfortunately, it is very common, and I think it is really promoted from people who don't have. And that's the fake it till you make it. Do not fake anything ever. You will never have what you're chasing after. Faking does not get you what you want. It's becoming the person. Now, become the person that can attract wealth. Now, becoming the person, I'm going to give you the how to do it. You do it by already feeling emotionally that you have what you're going after, right? You feel like emotionally you already have it. Our whole lives are based on emotion, right? We do everything based on emotion. There's so much emotion. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were talking about um, recalling the past, reflecting on your past. Now, and this is where I'm going to talk about emotion and how everything depends on who you are today, right? This all ties in. I'm not doing the word salad, right? I'm actually tying it all in. So when you recall a past event, there is a lot of holes in that event. There's a lot of inaccuracies. Your brain is a great storyteller. It's a lousy historian, right? You don't always get the facts right. I was looking for a bathing suit that I'd gotten a couple weeks ago, and I was looking for like a week ago. So a few weeks had went by, and I'm like, huh. And I was going to ask my son, "Did you see that bathing suit?" And I said, "It was red with little lobsters on it. Really cool bathing suit." And a seersucker bathing suit is just so cool. And the funny thing was, it wasn't red; it was blue. Right? I didn't recall the color. It was a gift just a few weeks earlier because we don't remember everything. And why am I telling you this and what does it have to do with emotion? because your brain's a great storyteller, a lousy historian. However, when you recall your past, the meaning that you assign that event is strictly related to who you are today. That I'm going to say it again. The meaning you give that event that happened in your past, the meaning you give it, is strictly based on who you are today. So when I'm going to go back to my younger years when I was, um, fighting to get ahead, where I was like anger driven and, like that's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to be angry and determined. And I saw past events of my childhood but not in a positive way. And today I could recall those same events and be thankful and grateful. I would say they were wonderful. That's the meaning I give it. Because today I understand that those events had to have happened for me to become this person that I am. And if anything changed, I wouldn't be me. So I'm grateful. But that's who I am today. There's a time that in my adult life when I was going after my goals that, I was so determined and almost did it with a reckless anger. And I wasn't an angry person, but I felt that I needed that fuel. I needed that warrior in me to come up, to surface and go after it. And I would have looked at those events going, they molded me. You know what? They can't take me. Like I would have looked at it with some negativity and something that I wouldn't look at today. So we even look at our past and we change the emotion attached to our past based on who we are today. This is why we are so emotion driven. Now, the reason most people don't reach their goals, no, there's a lot of reasons. One big reason is because their goals are set with logic. They're set within the boundaries of what they believe they can accomplish. They're set with only one point. Meaning, if you're going to bake a cake, you don't make it with just flour. That's one, right? That doesn't get you what you want. You need all the ingredients. So when you go after your goal, your brain has to say, this is my goal, but your heart has to align with it. Your passion has to align with your logic. And rarely, excuse me, rarely do you find people that could do that because that's a learned method. That's a learned, I want to say procedure, but that's a learned method, right? Of aligning your heart and your head to go after your goal. Now, when you can align your heart and your head, you can create the emotion. And for me, I create the emotion first before I go after my goal because I become that person. So when I ran a marathon, I already knew what it felt like to finish. That's what I mean. I already knew emotionally what it felt like to finish. Every gold medalist in the Olympics has already won that gold medal in their mind, right? They were so attached to it emotionally. They felt the rush and they were like 14, 15 years old training. Right? Every champion is held a trophy in their mind. Every kid is like 3, 2, 1 on the playground taking the last shot. and that they already felt the winning shot emotionally. Right? So we are so emotionally driven. So you don't fake it. It's real. That emotion is real. That's how you have to go after your goals. That's how you do it. That's how you become. And you know what the crazy part is? I use the word how just like 3 times. It's not about the how. And in fact, the how is none of your business, right? Set the goal, become the person, and the how will show up.